Hi there, my name's Nicole. I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist here to give you nutrition advice to help you reach your fitness and health goals. Today we're going to talk about why you are not meeting your weight loss goals and a few habit hacks that you can do. So dietitians aren't just around to tell you what to eat, when to eat, or how to eat. We also can help you implement behavior change strategies and create new habits to help you reach your nutrition, health, and fitness goals. So if you're someone who finds yourself snacking at night after dinner or finding yourself reaching for something sugary in the afternoon and it's erasing all of the hard work that you're doing the rest of the time or all of the workouts that you're doing, this video is for you. So with all that said, let's get into it. First, we're going to start off with identifying your why. Now, I'm sure you've heard this a million times by now. Simon Sinek was the first person to be like, find your why, and now all of the other influencers are identify your why. So we're going to talk about this in a little bit more detail. I'm sure you're setting out to lose weight to lose weight. So what more do you have to figure out? You have to dig down deep inside and figure out what is it that's driving you to lose weight. Is it purely an aesthetic goal? Is it to help your health so that you don't develop diabetes or heart disease in the future? Is it more than that? Do you want to do it to have more energy and to feel better, which is a lot of reasons why people like to lose weight and eat healthier, is because it gives them more energy to do the things that they really like to do, and they're not just stuck going to work, coming home, sitting on the couch, going to sleep and going to work and repeating it all the next day. So the first thing I want you to do is ask yourself, why do I want to lose weight? But don't phrase it like that. Phrase it as, why do you want to lose weight? Ask yourself that question in that format. Why do you want to lose weight? Having that separation versus when you say, why do I want to lose weight? You're coming up with the answer. You're trying to figure out what your why is, versus when you say, why do you want to lose weight? You're taking a step back from yourself and you're listening to yourself answer that question. It provides you the ability to listen rather than work on formulating that reason. So you're more likely to get a real true reason when you do it that way. So just to give you an idea, like my personal reason why I want to lose weight and why I want to start eating healthier is purely for my health. Now I have Crohn's disease. So for me, it's highly imperative that I eat healthier in order to improve my quality of life, to help my medication do what it has to do so that my GI tract can actually heal from this disease and I can continue living a good life for a longer period of time. Now, once you've determined your why, I want you to actually take a pen, a piece of paper. It could be any piece. It could be just a random computer piece of paper, random loose leaf paper, or even a journal such as this, which I'll explain later as to why a journal would be a great investment for you. But I want you to actually put pen to paper and write down what your why is. And then the second step to identifying your why is to remind yourself every single day what your why is. When you go on your day-to-day, after you've identified your why, you know you want to lose weight, you're going on every single day, you're going through the motions, you're going to work, you're socializing with friends, if you have kids, you're dealing with raising kids, and there's food. Every single part of every day, there's food involved and there's food choices, and emotions come up, whether it's stress or boredom, being overwhelmed, and all of those things will affect your eating habits. So unless you truly know your why and remind yourself every single day why you're on this journey, why you're doing what you're doing, you won't stick to your habit changes. You won't stick to your goals unless you are 100% front and center of, this is what I want, I'm doing this for me, I'm doing this because I decided that I'm doing it. You'll fall back into old habits real easily. So take this for example. Say your goal is that you want to lose weight and you want to look like, say, Chrissy Chella. And, the thing with aesthetic goals is you can't meet your aesthetic goals overnight. And our brains are wired to take the easy way out. So you're 2 weeks into your fitness journey, you've been eating healthy, you've been working out regularly, you're on a program, you know what you're doing, and you're at work. Suddenly there's a deadline and you have to meet it within, 3 hours. And there's a vending machine down the hall. What's the first thing you're going to do? Are you going to look at yourself and be like, oh, I want to look like Chrissy Chella and I'm not going to eat that and I'm just going to sit down and I'm just going to do my work? No. you're not. You're in that moment of stress. You have high intensity emotions. You have hormones racing through you. You want to calm those down. You know you need to get the work done. The easiest, quickest way to do that is the old habit that you've had, that you've fallen back into all the time for years on end. So you're going to go down the hall. You're going to get that snack. Now, flip that. You have your journal. You have it with you. You have it on your desk, you can see it, and you're like, I know what my goals are, I know what I really want. You open it up and you're like, this is my true why. My true why is, I want to have more energy. And having more energy, I feel good right now. My stomach's like flattening down. I have the energy. I'm going to get this thing. I'm going to knock this deadline out. And then tonight I'm going to go out and I'm going to go have dinner with my friends. And I have the energy to do that. Whereas you cave, you eat that sugar, you don't have the energy after getting done what you need to get done for work. Habit hack number 2, you haven't broken your goal down into daily habits that you're going to do every single day. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to take your journal and you're going to do this. You're going to write down your goal, okay? Your main goal, which is, let's say, lose 40 pounds. All right, so you're going to lose 40 pounds. Handwriting's terrible. I don't know how to angle this thing into the camera. Okay, sorry. So you're losing 40 pounds, main goal. Then you're going to break that down into a smaller goal. So you're going to say lose 5 pounds per month. And that smaller goal has to have a timeline attached to it so that you have a deadline, so that you're going out with your friends and they're all having drinks and you know that it's 16 days left at the end of the month. You still have to lose 3 more pounds to get to that goal. Your goal, you're going to have sparkling water with lime, okay? Lose 5 pounds per month. Now, that's not the only motivator, and we'll get into more motivation, more habits that you're going to have to tackle in order to actually meet this goal. This is just step 1. All right, so your main goal, your smaller goal, and then we're going to break that down into 1 to 3 habits that you're going to do every single day to help you meet your goals. Okay, so you want to lose 5 pounds. Okay, your 3 habits. Let's keep this nutrition focused because I'm assuming you already have a workout routine underway. Okay, so how are you going to lose those 5 pounds? Now, you are the only one who knows the things that you're doing that are curtailing your progress. So I'm just going to use myself for an example. So I eat too much sugar. Okay, so my habit that I'm going to do every single day is eat less sugar. Okay. Second habit, every single day, drink more water. Now, drinking water seems like it's not actually going to help, but it does help you with cravings. It helps you feel full. It helps you feel satisfied. So drinking water does actually impact your weight loss goals. So those, and then also I'm going to choose meditation. Okay, so we're stepping a little bit out of the realm of nutrition, but I'm using, again, myself for an example. And I know that stress is a big thing that curtails me from meeting my goals, my weight loss goals, my nutrition goals, my health goals. And so I'm going to meditate every single day, and that's going to help me to reach my goals. Okay, so again, we're breaking this down. So your main goal, you have your smaller goal with a timeline attached to it, and then you have 3 habits that you're going to do every single day to reach those goals. Okay, so here's an extra mini tip for you that I'm embedding into this when it comes to creating habits. It's easier for us to create habits than to break old habits. So when you're taking a specific habit, I'm going to look at snacking at night. Your main idea is, okay, I need to stop snacking at night, because if I'm snacking too much at night, then I'm going to be, eating too many calories, and I'm going to derail everything else that I'm doing, whether it's working out, eating lower calorie during the day, etc., right? So turn that idea of a habit of not eating at night to, I'm going to learn not to eat at night. So say it's after 7, say you eat dinner before 7, and by 7 o'clock, your idea is that you're not eating anymore for the rest of the night. Okay, so 7 to whenever you go to bed, say it's 10 p.m., 7 to 10 p.m., your goal is not to eat at that time. That is the habit you're creating, not eating during that time of night. Regardless of what day it is, regardless of what's happening, I don't care if it's New Year's Eve and there's hors d'oeuvres on the table, you don't eat at that time. that's the habit that you live your life by. You don't eat at that time of night. That's the habit you're creating. You're not breaking the habit of eating at night. You're creating the new habit of, I don't eat at that time of day. It's a lot easier for your brain to create that habit than to break the other one. Because the breaking the other one, if you're thinking of it in that respect, you essentially are going to lead your mind to think, okay, I'm restricting myself, and restriction doesn't work, as we all know. So you're creating new habits for your lifestyle. So I just want to talk about a couple of different habits that people have that tend to derail their fitness goals, their nutrition goals, their health goals. And so we talked about snacking at night, but what about snacking when you're not hungry during the day? So we're talking mostly probably emotional eating. Usually when people grab for food, they're doing it because they're bored, they're stressed, they're overwhelmed, etc. They're eating when they're not hungry. So it's kind of an emotional eating behavior. So what that is essentially, again, is a habit. You have the habit of eating when you feel X, Y, and Z. Could be feeling anything. There's a lot of people that say they eat when they're sad, they're stressed, they're happy, they're excited, they're overwhelmed, they're bored, every single emotion under the sun. So what you do is you have to create a new habit based on that trigger. The trigger is the emotion. The habit is what you do in response to that emotion. So creating a new thing. I know for me, like if I'm bored or stressed, essentially what you need is a pause. You need a break. You need to stop doing the thing that you're doing or not doing and do something different. So picking up your phone and playing a little game for 5 to 10 minutes, stopping and breathing. Just take a couple deep breaths. Like just literally getting that air into your lungs will change your hormonal status and change what's happening in your neurochemistry. And that will help you not want to eat anymore. That's why people who go out and take smoke breaks is effective, because they're taking a break and they're breathing. It's not has nothing to do with nicotine, nothing to do with smoking. It's taking a break and breathing. The other thing you can do is physical activity. Physical activity is a great way to restart what's happening hormonally in you. And, so get up, do 5 to 10 squats, do a couple jumping jacks. If you don't have a private space to do this, go into the bathroom and do it. Just enough. It doesn't have to be enough to get you flushed. You don't have to do that, but just enough just to raise your heart rate just a little bit. And that'll restart what's happening, and you can think more clearly about what you're doing and what you really, really want. Eating too much sugar. This is a big thing for a lot of people. And your body actually becomes physically accustomed to eating the amount of sugar that you're eating, and specifically the time of day that you eat that sugar. So say it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, that standard thing where people eat sugar during that time of day, especially if they're bored and they have a lot going on in their lives, or they're stressed, whatever, work time. People like to eat sugar at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Here's an idea. Eat something with carbohydrates 1 to 2 hours before that time frame. So you have to, first of all, track and know exactly when you want that sugar, when you're going to fall towards cravings, and preempt it by eating something 1 to 2 hours before that happens. Carbohydrates and protein. Those are the two things, the best snack combination. So a handful of nuts and an apple, peanut butter, banana, those kinds of things. Cheese, some cereal with some milk, things like that. Anything with a little bit of carbs, not high in sugar, but high in carbohydrates. So probably looking at a complex carbohydrate like a bowl of Cheerios, something that has fiber in it, something that has a little bit of protein in it, and that will help your body's response to the need for sugar. And then you have to worry about the mental response to sugar. So again, that habit formation. You're used to having sugar at the time. So you're going to eat your carbohydrate protein snack 1 to 2 hours before. And then at that time that you normally are caving and eating the sugary food, you have to distract. You have to do something for yourself, whether that's that physical activity, doing something on your phone, reading, watching a YouTube video, listening to a podcast, just something to distract your mind from that time. And you're going to have to do that for X amount of days until it becomes an ingrained habit not to do that action anymore. Okay, so I've definitely thrown a lot at you in this section. If you have any specific issues with your diet plan, any specific goals that you plan on implementing, please comment down below. And if there's anything I can do to help you, I would love to be able to help you out. So comment down below. I can do more in-depth videos on specific habits. I can just, respond to your comment, whatever, but I'd love to hear what you have to say. The third habit hack I have for you, it has to do with your mental framework when it comes to making the changes you need to make in order to meet your goals. You are underestimating the amount of work and the amount of time it's going to take to implement the strategies and changes that you are implementing to meet your goals. For example, when it comes to changing a habit, making a new habit, breaking an old habit, etc., it can take anywhere from 18 days to 225 days. That's just short of a year, to create a new habit, with the average being around 66 days. This is not a short-term thing that you're doing, but it has long-term repercussions. So you're looking at changing the way that your brain reacts to different situations, to different, foods, to everything, long term. This is you're literally changing your brain chemistry so that you can meet your goals and that you don't have to worry about it again. You're not gonna have to worry about, changing what you do or how you think about food ever again if you put in the initial work and time. This is not a quick fix, not at all. So once you implement these changes and these habits and you're able to get yourself all the way to that point of not having to think about it anymore, those afternoon hours where you normally reach for a candy bar will fly by and you'll have no idea that you even wanted a candy bar in the first place back in the day. You'll completely forget that that was something you used to do. Your brain, like I said earlier, chooses the path of least resistance. It wants to go the easiest route. And after you've put in the time and effort and the fighting with yourself, now there is going to be fighting with yourself throughout this process. After you've put in all that time and effort to do it, your brain is going to realize the easiest path is to just do nothing. Like when you want to eat, you no longer eat. You no longer want to eat because your brain's like, this is what we're doing now. And it's changed its tone and you don't even think about it anymore. That's what you're striving for. That's the end goal here. And it takes time, it takes effort, but once you do it, there's no effort at all. Now, with all this being said, now your end goal is to lose weight. As you're going through this process of creating habits, breaking habits, I don't recommend that you're tracking your progress, because what happens when you track your progress, whether it's stepping on the scale, whether it's taking progress pictures, that progress, whether it's good or bad, automatically interferes with your habit making. The losing weight is going to be a side effect of what you're doing, but it's not ultimately what you're striving for. Ultimately, you're striving to make the habit changes that you need to make in order to continue having the weight loss maintained, to lose weight and to keep it off forever, ultimately, right? So if you lose weight, that's great. You're gonna be like, I did a good job. I don't have to pay as much attention to it. I don't have to focus on it as much because I've done the thing that I needed to do. And that's going to curtail your ability to make the habit changes that you're trying to make. It doesn't matter what you do, what's happening in your life. If you want to make true habit change, you have to stick with it every single day, no matter what is happening. Those certain rules, those 3 daily habits have to maintain constantly in order for them to in order for your brain chemistry and your brain paths to actually change, you have to maintain on top of it. So if you're losing weight and you relax a little bit, it's going to create a setback in your process. So the fourth part of this whole habit hack process, the last part here, is how do you keep your daily habits at the forefront of your brain, of your mind, of your daily life? The first thing I recommend, bringing it back, is journaling, okay? I highly recommend. Now here's what we're gonna do. It's not just you open up your journal and you get your pen and you're like, oh, I'm feeling so bloated today and I don't like it and I don't want to feel this way and I don't know what to do. It's not journaling like that. It is journaling as you're gonna write down my 3 daily habits today, every single day, until they become routine, until you find it getting easier, until you're no longer there at 3 o'clock in the afternoon saying, I want that Snickers bar, I can't have it, what do I have to do? You don't want it to be that way. So you're doing this every single day until that 3 o'clock time comes and goes. And you're like, I didn't want a candy bar. I didn't want the sugar. you have to, like I said, you have to stay on top of it every single day. Writing it down in the morning, whenever you fit it into your morning routine. I don't know what your life is like. You know what your life is like. Sometime before noon, I want you to pull up your journal and I want you to write your 3 daily habits down. Physically write them down. I don't, this whole technology thing, typing it, I don't think that's enough. But if that's what works for you, if you're highly into technology, paper, anti-paper, all the way, whatever you have to do, just physically write it down. I don't want you to stand there and just think it. I want you to put it down on paper some way or another. The second part of this is be prepared. Again, you know where your setbacks are. You know where you falter. So you have to think, if at nighttime you're sitting there watching a movie and it's 8 o'clock at night and you usually get the munchies, you have to be prepared for what that's going to be like. You know what it feels like. You know that it's easy to give up. You know X, Y, and Z. So you have to think, okay, what will work for me in that moment? Is it brushing your teeth right after dinner? Is it brushing your teeth at that point in time? Is it something else you can do before? Maybe you need to be more active at night. Maybe sitting down and watching TV isn't fulfilling you, maybe it's pulling up a book and reading, or playing a game on your phone or playing a game with somebody else, an actual physical board game. Anything that you need to do, just have a plan in place, because you know how you're going to feel in that moment, and you also know what works for you. If talking to a friend doesn't work and actually makes it worse, don't do that. Do something else. If you know that you're not going to get up off the couch and do 10 squats, don't make that your plan, because it's not going to work. It has to be something that you're actually going to work. Maybe it's getting your hands busy. Kinetic sand, picking that up and just playing with it. You can't eat after you touch kinetic sand. You have to wash your hands. So there's a lot of steps that are preventing you from just grabbing food and eating. So sometimes just doing something with your hands can help distract you from the idea of putting food in your mouth. Ultimately, all of this is up to you. It's you want to make the change. You want to meet your goals. So it is ultimately all up to you to do the work that needs to be done to make the changes. You can't use the excuses. So I'm addicted to sugar. Oh, my boyfriend likes to eat junk food. Oh, my husband, wants us to order pizza every night. Or I have kids and they just want to eat junk. This is about you. This is about your goals. And I know this might sound harsh, but you have to make the changes for you. Nobody else is going to do it but you. You have to be strong enough to say, this is what I really want. And that comes back to identifying your why. Why are you doing this? Is it to live your life longer, to be there for your kids? Is it, what's the more in-depth reason why you're changing your eating habits or why you want to lose weight? Is it to live longer? And what are you living for? Are you living to eat? Because that's never going to work. You can't live to eat because then you're just going to be back where you are now. There has to be a different reason why you want this life so bad. So in recap of everything that we just talked about, number 1, write down your true reason, your real why as to why you're on this journey to lose weight. Write down your main goal. Okay, you have your main overarching goal, whether it's 100 pounds, 180 pounds, 50 pounds, 20 pounds, whatever. That's your main goal. Break that down into a smaller goal. Lose 5 pounds in a month. And then you're breaking that down into 1 to 3 daily habits every single day. And then you're keeping those habits at the forefront of your mind every single day. Again, take a shot for every single day. You keep those habits at the forefront of your mind daily. You make a plan as to how you're going to implement those habits. You make a plan for when you know that you're going to falter. And you remember that this is a process and this takes time and it takes work and it takes, blood, sweat, and tears. It's going to take it all. If that's what you really, really, really want, you've broken it down to the smallest little ways possible. Remember, daily habits every single day. So if you enjoyed these tips, feel free to like and subscribe and stay up to date for any further videos. Comment down below if there's anything else you want to see, anything you want me to take a deeper dive on, anything I can help you with. I'm here. So all I want to do is help you reach your goals, whether it's health, fitness, aesthetic. I don't care what you want to do. I just want to help you get there. I look forward to speaking to you next time.